to 1,003.5, and you can't get the ball in, you got to use up that last time out.
Well, you got your smartest guy inbounding. Brunson is usually the Knicks inbounder.
So Brunson is out there with Hart, Anunoby, Towns, and Bridges.
No, they're going to go the other way with Bridges inbounding.
Bridges will inbound. On the ball will be Halliburton. New York by 2. Cutting Brunson. And quickly fouled with 8.1 left in regulation.
What a great inbound play right here. You got Brunson getting the ball going downhill. And now you have your best player at the line.
And the Knicks have just been terrific at the line. Overall, 23 of 26. But they've made their last 11 consecutive free throws. And Brunson's been perfect at the line. 9 of 9 now. And 22 points with Robinson coming in for Towns.
Well, one of the reasons they didn't win game 1 is they missed free throws down the stretch. They went 1 of 2 3 times in that last 4 minutes of that game.
Indiana led by 20 points. And the Knicks have come back. And they used most of the second half to do it, closing the last 2 quarters with runs. Indiana led by 15, 78-63 late in the third.
I really liked New York's defense in the second half, and then obviously Karl Anthony Towns was outstanding.
Big fourth quarter. Brunson trying to make it a 4-point lead. Indiana timeout, 8.1 to go.
I mean, think about where this series was. Indiana up 2-0, up 20 points late in the second quarter. You know, it couldn't have looked a whole lot worse for the New York Knicks. And right now, this will be a tough game for New York to lose.
The Knicks were on the brink.
They certainly were.
In a state that knows something here about it being on the brink.
Well, but I'll tell you what, the one thing you've got to give the Knicks all year, you guys certainly saw it in that Boston series. This is a very resilient team.
And I said this too, even going back to the mid-90s, the New York Knicks, they've always played well on the road. It's something about when they're at home in the Garden, but when they're on the road, they lock in, they're focused.
We've seen it too many times, and we've seen it in these playoffs.
And to me, how they closed that second quarter going into half, to me, that set the tone for them in the second half.
You know, it's just a great point, because people look at a lot of those stretches and think they're meaningless. Well, you're still down 13 at the half. But right now, every point going. And we're going to see Indiana with the same alignment we saw the other night, where everybody starts in the backcourt and they're going to try to get something going on the run. And they're going to zone this up back here. Look at New York. But you've got to do a great job communicating so that you don't leave anybody open.
Neymar to inbound. It's Siakam, doubled, fires 3, no, rebound, Hart! Who else? Hart got it, 2.6, fouled on the play.
Give Josh Hart a lot of credit, because we were talking at halftime about how Josh Hart just didn't seem to be the same guy, hadn't done a lot. His rebounding down the stretch has been huge. He made clutch free throws. This is a huge win for New York.
Gigantic win for New York.
But again, like we said with Indiana, New York now will go to 6-1 on the road in the playoffs. They're only 3-5 in Madison Square Garden.
Knicks have now made 14 consecutive free throws.
How about the concentration on the road, right? Coming into a hostile environment.
They've never won a playoff game in this building. 0-9 coming in.
Well, and think about this. Last year, now, obviously, it was as the home team, but New York won the first 2 games of the series. Indiana came back and won it. So 2-0 leads, not insurmountable.
Neymar will fire. And closing quarters, a huge part of the New York Knicks win in this big game 3. They were down 2 games to none, losing both at home, but go on the road down by 20 and win, coming from behind 106-100. Reggie, you went back to this at the end of the second quarter, a 10-3 run by New York to close the second. They closed the third 7-2. They closed the game on an 8-2 run, and they hit their free throws.